Hey everyone. So, Mercedes just dropped some absolutely incredible news about their 2026 GLC EV, and I've got to tell you, this thing is looking like a complete game changer. If you've been waiting for Mercedes to deliver a proper electric compact SUV that doesn't compromise on luxury or performance, well, your wait is finally over. Let me start by saying this. Mercedes has completely reimagined what an electric GLC should be. We're not talking about just slapping a battery into the existing gas-powered model. No, this is built from the ground up as an electric vehicle, and boy, does it show. The first thing that's going to blow your mind is the range. We're looking at up to 440 miles on a single charge. Let that sink in for a moment. 440 miles. That's more than enough to drive from Los Angeles to San Francisco with juice to spare. Now, let's talk power because this thing is absolutely no slouch. The top-spec dual-motor all-wheel drive version pumps out a massive 483 horsepower. That's more power than the current AMG GLC 43. Mercedes has managed to create something that's both incredibly efficient and brutally quick. And here's where it gets really interesting. They've equipped the rear axle with a 2-speed transmission. This is actually pretty rare in the EV world, but it means you get that instant torque for launches while maintaining efficiency at highway speeds for those who don't need quite that much power. There's also a rear-wheel drive GLC 300 Plus with a single motor producing 369 horsepower. Even this base model will hit 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds, which is still properly quick for a family SUV. The design is where Mercedes has really pushed boundaries. Gone is the traditional grille we're used to seeing on gas-powered cars. Instead, we get this stunning illuminated panel that literally lights up like something from a sci-fi movie. The entire front end has this clean, futuristic look that immediately tells you this is electric. The proportions are sleeker too. They've managed to lower the roofline slightly compared to the gas GLC, giving it this more athletic, coupe-like silhouette without sacrificing interior space. Speaking of the interior, prepare to have your jaw drop. Mercedes has installed what they're calling a 39-inch touchscreen that stretches across the entire dashboard. I know what you're thinking. Isn't that just a gimmick? Well, having seen how Mercedes has implemented their latest infotainment system, I think they've actually made it work. The screen seamlessly integrates climate controls, navigation, entertainment, and vehicle settings. Plus, there's even a separate 14-inch display for the passenger, so they can control their own entertainment or help with navigation without disturbing the driver. But here's something that really caught my attention. Mercedes claims this is the world's first vegan-certified interior. They've eliminated all animal products while still maintaining that premium Mercedes feel with synthetic leather and sustainable materials that look and feel absolutely fantastic. The technology package is seriously impressive too. This rides on Mercedes' new 800-volt architecture, which means incredibly fast charging speeds. We're talking about the ability to add hundreds of miles of range in just a few minutes of charging. And then there's the AI integration. Mercedes is calling it multi-agent artificial intelligence that learns your driving habits and preferences to optimize everything from route planning to climate control. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. How does this compare to the gas-powered GLC we all know and love? Well, in almost every measurable way, this electric version is superior. It's quieter, smoother, more powerful, and obviously much more efficient. The only thing you might miss is that distinctive Mercedes V6 sound, but honestly, the instant torque and whisper-quiet operation more than make up for it. Mercedes has also equipped this thing with air suspension and rear-wheel steering, which means it's going to handle like a much smaller car despite being a proper SUV. The rear-wheel steering is particularly clever because it makes parking in tight spaces so much easier while improving high-speed stability. Here's what's really exciting though. Mercedes built this on a completely scalable platform. This isn't just a one-off. We're going to see this architecture used across their entire electric lineup. So everything Mercedes learned developing this GLC is going to benefit their future electric sedans and crossovers. The charging situation is pretty fantastic too. With that 94.5 kilowatt-hour battery pack and 800-volt architecture, you're looking at some of the fastest charging speeds in the segment. Plus, Mercedes has been rapidly expanding their charging network, so finding a fast charger on long trips shouldn't be an issue. Now, let's talk about pricing because I know that's what everyone wants to know. Mercedes hasn't announced official pricing yet, but industry insiders are suggesting it'll carry a slight premium over the gas GLC, which currently starts around $50,800, so we're probably looking at somewhere in the mid to high 50s for the base model, with the top-spec dual-motor version likely pushing into the 70s once you add options. Is it worth it? Well, when you consider the performance, the range, the technology, and the fact that you'll practically never have to visit a gas station again, I think it's actually pretty competitive. Plus, don't forget about potential federal tax credits and state incentives that could knock several thousand off the price. The timing is perfect, too. Mercedes plans to start sales in North America in the second half of 2026, which gives them time to build up production and establish the charging infrastructure. By then, we'll likely see even more charging options and possibly additional government incentives. What really impresses me about this GLC EV is how Mercedes hasn't tried to reinvent the wheel. They've taken everything people loved about the original GLC, the practicality, the luxury, the build quality, and just made it better in almost every way. The interior space is still generous, the cargo area is still useful, and it still feels like a proper Mercedes. I think Mercedes has really hit it out of the park with this one. They've created an electric SUV that doesn't ask you to compromise on anything. You get more performance, more technology, better efficiency, and that unmistakable Mercedes luxury experience. For anyone who's been on the fence about making the jump to electric, this GLC EV might just be the vehicle that finally convinces you. The 2026 Mercedes GLC EV represents everything we've been hoping electric vehicles would become: practical, powerful, luxurious, and genuinely exciting to drive. I can't wait to get behind the wheel and see how it performs in the real world. What do you think? Is this the electric SUV you've been waiting for? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more coverage of the latest electric vehicles hitting the market. Thanks for watching.